I'm Laurie Marlowe.
I'm Sevan Bulgarian.
I'm Amanda Lewis.
And I'm Laura Barkin. Please enjoy our presentation of the Satyagraha, reforming the violent reaction to a peaceful revolution. Dear citizens, I, Pratibha Patil, the President of India, welcome you on August 15, 2011 to commemorate Mother India gaining independence after 347 years of oppression. To remember, rejoice, and reflect. Our nation was conceived by the notions of one man, a single grain of salt, and a nation of people united for one cause. Together, we revolted against an exploitative, imperialistic rule. When the British violently attacked us, we stood united together. And now here we are together again. Mother India suffered nearly 3.5 centuries under exploitive British imperialism. By the 20th century, due to the growing arrest of the Indians and an economic depression, the British were struggling to maintain the Indian Empire. However, it was the arrival of Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, and his peaceful philosophy that turned the tides, creating the perfect circumstances for change. Led by Gandhi, this peaceful revolution enabled us to gain independence through reforms sparked by the violent British reaction. The turning point of this revolution was Gandhi's Salt March, which commenced on March 12, 1930.
So, Mr. Gandhi, you call this march the Salt Satyagraha. But what does that mean?
Satyagraha means, quite literally, insistence on the truth. The Satyagrahis are peaceful demonstrators of the truth. In this Salt Satyagraha, our goal is to peacefully protest the unjust salt tax. We are marching for 24 days across India to arrive at Dandi Beach on April 6th. With this, we hope to show the British that we will not stand for such injustice any longer.
Of all the taxes that the British imposed on India, why did you choose to revolt against the tax on salt? And why start now?
For years, the British have imposed so many high taxes that have impoverished us, only for their own benefit, and we hold no representation in government with which to voice this concern. To an Indian, salt is as important as air or water. A tax on salt constitutes, therefore, the most inhuman poll tax to ingenuity of man to devise. It is because of this that it is the perfect cause for uniting as diverse a nation as India.
What do you expect of your followers if the reaction of the British turns violent? Surely you cannot expect one to just accept the violence.
Indeed, I expect nothing less. Satyagraha will put up with the search from his opponents and never retaliate, but will not submit to any order given out of anger.
But what if they are arrested?
If Satyagraha is arrested, he will not resist. He will voluntarily submit to the arrest.
Gandhi continued walking with his 79 chosen followers for 241 miles, gaining thousands of new followers along the way. They arrived at Dandi Beach on April 6, 1930, just as Gandhi had planned.
It is possible that this will be my last speech to you. As we commence this open defiance of the law, I expect that many of us, myself included, will be arrested by the British government. But let there be not a semblance of breach of peace, even after all of us have been arrested. Whatever happens, always remember that you are a Satyagrahi, and that means holding yourself against the violence. It is an offense to manufacture, possess, or sell contraband salt. However, wherever possible, civil disobedience of the salt tax should be started. Let all know that with this salt, I am shaking the foundations of the British Empire.
After Gandhi's notorious defiance of the salt laws, uncivilized Indians across the country
openly joined the illegal salt production. It was because of this betrayal that thousands of natives were arrested, ungrateful for all the British Crown has done for them. Gandhi was arrested at midnight on May 5th, 1930, in anticipation of a demonstration that he planned to lead at a salt factory in Dharasana. Sarojini Naidu, a close associate of Gandhi, assumed leadership after his arrest.
United Press International, this is Webb Miller reporting on May 21st, 1930, at the Dharasana Salt Works. Just before commencing the nonviolent raid, Naidu addressed the Satyagrahis.
Brothers and sisters, although Gandhi's body is in prison, his soul goes with you. India's prestige is in your hands. You must not use any violence under any circumstances. You will be beaten, but you must not resist. You must not even raise a hand to ward off mercy. Whatever happens, strictly adhere to the law of nonviolence.
Slowly, in a complete silence, the Gandhi men drew up and halted 100 yards from the stockade. They approached the stockade, which the police surrounded, holding their clubs at the ready. Police officers ordered the marchers to disperse. They silently ignored the warning and slowly walked forward. Suddenly, at a word of command, scores of native police rained blows on their heads with their steel-shod lathis. Not one of the marchers even raised an arm to fend off the blows. They went down like 10 pins. I could hear the sickening whacks of the clubs on unprotected skulls. In 2 or 3 minutes, the ground was quilted with bodies.
Mira was the only reporter at Dharasana, and his articles were published in thousands of newspapers worldwide, provoking horror and disgust at the violent British reaction. The reputation this gave them deeply troubled the British, and they soon realized that in order to preserve their image, they would have to negotiate with terms with the Indians for the first time. In 1931, Gandhi met with the Viceroy of India, Lord Irwin, to devise the terms of what would later become the Gandhi-Irwin Pact.
I have come as the voice of the Indian people who have suffered so greatly under British rule. I wish to establish justice in government so that Indian opinion can influence our ways.
I brought you here to discuss peacefully the terms for possible end to this disruptive civil disobedience and the permanent peace between England and India.
I insist that you repeal the salt tax so that Indians can manufacture salt freely without paying a tax on something that is crucial to their lives. Also, the prisoners of the salt Satyagraha must be released immediately. Under these conditions, I agree to suspend civil disobedience in India.
The salt tax is not unreasonable. It is a valuable source of revenue for our government. However, I suppose it is also not unreasonable for Indians to manufacture their own salt. I will modify the salt tax and free the Indians in civil resistance. In return, I request that an Indian representative attend the second roundtable conference in London next year to include negotiations of Indian independence in our discussions of the empire.
It is done.
Mr. Gandhi, why did you not insist on complete independence?
Independence will not come suddenly. This is just a preliminary step in what must take place if it is to be established peacefully.
Do you expect to accomplish complete independence at the second roundtable conference?
Regardless of whether or not independence is established, the second roundtable conference will be important because India, for the first time, will gain a voice in its government.
Gandhi was right. The Salt Satyagraha was the turning point that forced the British to give India a say in its government for the first time. However, World War II disrupted negotiations, delaying the independence until 1947. We can be proud that we belong to a country whose independence was won on the principles of truth and non-violence, values that have resonated worldwide. Our peaceful freedom struggle had a transformational impact in other parts of the world, inspiring notable leaders, including Martin Luther King of America and Aung San Suu Kyi of Burma, who have each won Nobel Peace Prizes for their own peaceful revolutions. Let us not forget the words of Martin Luther King. If humanity is to progress, Gandhi is inescapable. He lived, thought, and acted, inspired by the vision of humanity, evolving toward a world of peace and harmony. We may ignore him at our own